You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
This program is intended for mature audiences only. If you have any homicidal or suicidal feelings, please consult a doctor before listening to this program.
Of course, we've got the one and only Jenny McCartney in the booth, the social media goddess herself, pushing those buttons, making the show go again today. And, the co-hosts. I guess we'll go with the co-hosts. We got some of those, of course, coming to us live via satellite, as always, from his perch, I guess, high atop the Mill Bay Studios in beautiful Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada, is the one and only Louis Lawless. Yes, high atop there. Are you there, Louis?
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Yes, we got that. Don't worry.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Now you go right ahead, sir. We've got you covered.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
All right. And also joining us from his wonderful, beautiful, stately, I must say, apartment in Manhattan here in the big city is the one, the only, what's his name again? Oh, yes, Gilbert Godfrey. Are you ready, sir?
What the fuck?
Huh? Okay.
I'm ready.
Good. All right.
Yes.
All right. Gilbert Godfrey joining us from his lovely home here in the city. And also joining us is, of course, the one, the only George Takei, all the way from his home in Los Angeles, California. George, thank you for coming.
I think it's a treat to be here talking with you.
Yeah. There you go. And thank you. That's awesome. Now, is this thing on?
Yeah. It's on. Is this on? Is this on? I can't tap it. I would tap it, but I won't do that. So.
There you go.
That's
well.
Right. Only one, Meeps. That's us. The only one, HTLA Radio 1 New York, and you're here and you're listening. And this is Straight Talk. And, yeah, we've got 90 minutes of springtime in the city stories for you tonight. And, yeah, lots of social injustice stories. I'm in the mood for ranting. We said we weren't going to do a rant show, but here we are. And it's going to turn into a rant show.
It is, yes.
I can't help but be angry about the stories. You know, there's just too much to be excited about. And everybody's got to bring us down with all this stuff.
Stupidity.
That's right. And, well, we'll talk about that, too, because we've got a great show coming up for you that we've got in development for a little while now. And we're going to launch that Wednesday, and we'll talk about that a bit later. That's pretty exciting. That's called The Spotlight with Kate and Crush.
Absolutely. And tonight, a bit of a free-for-all. We're going to tear it up for you on tonight's Straight Talk. Everything from the day's events to some politics goodiness and the struggle, of course, to maintain home and work. We'll get into it all tonight. Professional businesswomen that I talk to, they do the work, but it's just the corporate work, and they think that's enough because, damn it, I've just put 12 hours a day in today in my job, and
right.
They feel deserving of something else, not to come home and take care of the kids, and not to come home and take care of the husband, and not to come home and take care of anything else.
Right.
It's time for them to kick their feet up now and go hit the bars and relax or something because they've earned it. Right. And I'm here to say that as a man, we do that all the time. We always have. We go out and work our full-time jobs or more.
Right.
And we come home and we're still expected to be the dad. We're still expected to help the kids with the homework. We're still expected to have activities and stuff with our family and have that interaction and put that time in.
Sure.
Maybe that's why we get 100% of our pay instead of 70% of our pay.
Right. Right. Well, you're not... Well, in the tradition now, men are also expected to do half the housework and half of all that stuff, whereas it used to just be before, you know, the garbages and the lawns and all that stuff that you do, the man stuff, you know. So, yes, and unfortunately, in some cases, in a great majority of the households now, more often than not, the women are working and I have so many, friends that I know that their husbands take care of the kids and drop the kids at school and do the school activities and do the projects and wash the clothes and do all that.
But with that comes the dreaded beta male, because there's not a single one of those men that I have met that I would look up to in battle.
No, of course not. And this is to our thinking, to our thinking. And while it took us years in practice, it was an ideology that we shared from the moment that we met anyway.
Yeah.
The whole, that was our vision for what the ideal family was.
Crisp and clean and no caffeine. Actually, no, that's not true. No, we got a lot of caffeine here. Yes, we do. Because, of course, it is your coffee and cigarettes today. The Wednesday Grinder, 3 p.m. Eastern and HTLA, New York's best talk. It's currently 64 degrees right now in the big city. Partly cloudy, but that's okay. The sun's mostly hanging out, and it's good. It's good. Yes. And as you may have noticed, yes, we were not on the air Monday nor Tuesday. We have, I think you can hear the difference. We've upgraded a whole bunch of gear with some help from the fine folks at PreSonus. Yes, check them out at PreSonus.com. And, it's sexy digital stuff. Yeah. And you're probably sitting there going, yeah, well, that's great, Crash. That's all well and good, but what about the damn show today? We've been waiting for 4 days. Well, I'll get to it, damn it. Today on the big program, we're playing some catch-up. Yes, as protests heat up in Baltimore after a suspect's death. And I don't know if you're a mountain biker, but I'm an avid mountain biker, and I'm in love to death with Trek bicycles. And they've done a recall. Yeah, skewers. Yeah. And no, it's not for the barbecue. We'll check into that for sure. Also, Obama's penis his pen is out and writing like never before as defense lawyer downplays marathon bomber's crude gesture. And hey, if that weren't enough, because it never is, we've got good old Jeb Bush calling out Hillary Clinton on trade issues while drug charges have been dropped against a black man beaten by police. Damn it. Now if I could only be black. Yes, all that and so much more on today's show. Welcome to Coffee and Cigarettes. It is coffee time. Coffee time in the city music. That's what that is. And of course, if you're wondering what kind of coffee that is, well, that is, of course, Tim Hortons. Yes, Tim Hortons, New York City. Yeah, 8 locations in the city to serve all your coffee and baked goods needs now. Yes, Tim Hortons always fresh. It's not like that stuff you get from those other people that's 7 hours old. No, Timmy's is always fresh. And, of course, we are also brought to you at Coffee and Cigarettes by the fine folks at PreSonus. Check out their gear, PreSonus.com. They just came out with an absolute beep load of incredible stuff at this year's NAB 2015. It was a great show, and, yeah, you got to be loving the PreSonus. Check them out at PreSonus.com. If you're interested at all in professional audio gear, it's PreSonus.com. Yes, and of course, the one, the only, Jenny McCartney is in the booth today, yes, contrary to popular discussions on social media, which she doesn't partake in. That's right, Jenny, they're all talking about you, because you won't go back. There's a whole bunch of digital pitchforks and torches out there just waiting for you. But she's done, she says. Well, we'll see. I've got to find a way to get her back on there. I just do. She's in the booth there shaking her head no, but, oh yes, Crash will make it happen somehow, some way. This, I swear to you. Yes, of course. Now on with the show. And this show is, of course, covering all the day's events and happenings in and around the United States, mostly, but we do cover foreigners, too, because, it'd be remiss of me if I didn't cover foreign news. Yes. Also, I do need to mention that no, man, you'd think it was a Monday, wouldn't you? I do have to mention that I do this show with guest host / unfortunately, Terminator still. But coming up to us first is, I'm going to say, acclaimed filmmaker, Louis D. Lawless of LDL Films Incorporated, now retired from Los Angeles and the hustle and bustle of making quality television programming and feature film work. He's now retired up to Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada, where he is actively continuing his craft in retirement, taking care of all the important stories that need telling via documentary work. And we have him, of course, live via satellite, because that's how he likes it, all the way from Mill Bay Studios in beautiful Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada. Louis, are you there, sir?
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award, and we didn't.
I know, and that's why you're on the show. I get it.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Sir, you go right ahead. You know I've got the button here. It's ready to go for you.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Well, that's good, because we've got no shortage of those kind of stories, whatever kind of stories you're talking about.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
All right, well, moving on, of course, our second guest / co-host / Terminator, unfortunately, is the one, the only Gilbert Gottfried, all the way from his beautiful apartment just about 8 blocks down the street here from Studio 2 in Manhattan. Dare I ask if you're ready, sir?
What the fuck?
Right. That's what I meant.
I'm ready.
You're sure?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and now, because I bloody well have to, yes, I have to introduce the former governor of California, the one, the only, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold, are you there?
Yeah.
Well, good for you. Okay. I would say something more to Arnold, but I'm drinking coffee. Yeah. Yes, there you go. So, yes, those are the guest hosts on the show today, and they're going to be sitting in with me here, going through the stories of the day. And, of course, topping the news today, at least in this neck of the woods in the great Northeast, protests are heating up in Baltimore today after a police suspect's death. More protests were planned today in Baltimore as supporters of Freddie Gray pressed their demand for justice and an explanation of how and why he died while in police custody. Police have been vague on why Gray, 25 years old, was arrested. Officer Garrett Miller wrote in a police report that Gray was stopped after fleeing unprovoked upon noticing police presence. So in other words, he just saw the police and ran to head away. Well, Miller said a knife was found and clipped to Gray's pants pocket, and he was taken into custody. William... Wait a minute. Since when is a knife illegal?
Yes.
Okay. William Murphy, lawyer for the Gray family, says the knife was legal and police probably had no right to pursue and detain Gray. I like a lawyer who says probably not. That's... They probably didn't have any...
Yes.
No, probably not. No. Last I heard, he says, a black man running is not a crime. Murphy told CNN today his mistake was not running fast enough. There you go. He says it looks very much like this arrest was without probable cause. The case is the latest of several across the nation in recent months to spark outcry and protest for perceived heavy-handed police treatment of minorities. Bystanders with cell phones recorded Gray, who is black, screaming in pain as officers dragged him to a police van, but did not record the actual arrest, and it's not clear what happened to Gray in the van. During transport to Western District via wagon transport, the defendant suffered a medical emergency and was immediately transported to shock trauma via medic, Miller wrote in his report. Why are police in this country still using wagons?
Power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah, but wagons?
Yes.
I don't know. What the hell we use? Next, we're going to have to go down and see the sheriff for this one. Well, the U.S. Justice Department said it was reviewing the arrest and situation. Based on preliminary information, Justice has officially opened this matter and is gathering information to determine whether any prosecutable civil rights violation occurred, the department said in a statement. I don't think civil rights violations would kill him. No, I don't. I think there was probably, I don't know, a billy club or something involved there.
Yes.
Maybe a gun or his own knife. One of the, Well, a protest has been set for later today in front of the Western District Police Station where Gray was taken after his arrest. A rally at City Hall is also planned for tomorrow. Tuesday night, hundreds of protesters outside the station chanted all night, all day, we're gonna fight for Freddie Gray. Well, they filled a city block while police on horseback monitored the scene, trying not to get shot. A crowd outside Western District Police Station included 53-year-old Priscilla Jackson carrying a sign reading, "Convict Freddie's Killers." 6 Baltimore officers have been suspended pending the outcome of the local investigation. Police reports filed earlier this week indicated that Gray, whose spinal cord was nearly severed in his neck while in custody, has been arrested without force or incident. Rodriguez said the officers involved have been suspended and that an autopsy showed Gray suffered a spinal injury that led to his death. He said the autopsy showed no other body injuries. What we do know and need to get there is how he suffered that injury, Rodriguez said. Man, what is that, like warp speed autopsy? What? This just happened yesterday.
Yes.
And already they've got everything back, including toxicology.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I could see you feel very uncomfortable talking.
Whoa. Chill out, Gilbert. Man.
Now, there was another time.
Another what?
You were when I know you're very secretive about your drug problem.
I sure used to be. Yep. Yes, all those seconds ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's I don't know. Do you you don't mountain bike? Do you, Gilbert?
Yes.
You do. Oh, okay. Is there any mountains up in your part there? See, I actually don't live in the city. We live out of the city and commute every day, and I have a beautiful, 30-acre backyard that's just nothing but trees, and I'm out there mountain biking every second I get, but I can't see you on a mountain bike in this traffic. No. Well, I am a mountain biker, and Trek is one of my favorite bike brands, and if it is yours too, here's what's to do with your recalled bike. Apparently, they've had some issues. Almost 1 million Trek bikes are being recalled in the United States and Canada after accidents that left one rider paralyzed, another with a fractured wrist, and a third with facial injuries. Which models are being recalled? Well, all Trek bicycles from the model years 2000 through 2015 that are equipped with front disc brakes and a black or silver quick-release lever on the front wheel hub that opens far enough to contact the disc brake. Bicycles with quick-release levers that do not open a full 180 degrees from the closed position are not included in this recall. If you have one of these bikes, what should you do? Well, stop using the damn bike immediately. And, of course, contact your authorized Trek retailer for free installation of new quick releases on the front wheel. You can reach the company's safety and recall hotline at 800-373-4594. And if you're wondering what can happen, well, when an open quick-release lever on the bike's front wheel hub comes into contact with the front disc brake assembly, the wheel can come to a sudden stop or separate completely from the bicycle. Yes, that's got to be nice. Oh, actually, it's not nice.
Yes.
No, it is not nice. That would be about the worst thing that can happen to you on a bike. But hey, you know, that's what we're here for, is to bring out all the worst things that can happen. There we go. We're going to go for our first 2-minute commercial break, but when we come back, don't go anywhere, because Obama's penis is out. It is hanging. It's all right. No, his pen is out. Yes, that's what's out, and he's apparently writing executive actions at an ever increasing pace. We'll be back in 2.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh, always great tasting coffee.
Man, I've been to a lot of places over these past 50 years. Seen the whole true north strong and free. 'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Cooksville, Stouffville, Bainesville, Bowmanville, Bonnieville, Unionville, Oakville, Dunville, Brockville, Boucherville, Melville, Drummondville, Kentville, Grenville, Morinville, Maryville, Parksville, Stephenville, Sackville, Spring Hill, Westville, Walkerville, hanging on a windowsill. Hey! He said, wow, that's a lot of places. I said, hang on, there's more. I've been to Moncton, Picton, Shannon, Vernon, Stellarton, Hamilton, Nipigon, Nobleton, Yorkton, Brighton, Bolton, Beaverton, Brandon, Edmonton, Walkerton, Wyerton, Granby, Miramichi, Charlottetown, Burnaby, Yellowknife, Whitehorse, Corner Brook, Nunavut. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I crossed the prairies bare, man. I breathed the mountain air. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere, man. Check it out. Ottawa, Wawa, Mattawa, Chippewa, Moose Jaw, Oshawa.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular insights, superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce dryer bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power?
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slick back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor. We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Well, I mean, it's natural when you're a young kid and you're 15 years old and you say to your parents that you want to be the greatest bodybuilder in the world and you're going to eventually become a movie star and a millionaire, you know, that they have a tendency of taking you to the shrink.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I think your tanks are full.
Yes.
I'm not going to complain about it, right?
Yeah, right, because we're not listening to you. That's right. That's right. Well, welcome back to the show, the big program, as it were, for you here and your listening needs. Yes, I don't know. Don't.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'd like to have that as my slogan in life.
Yes. Gilbert, I don't know, man. I don't know. Godfrey. That would be fun.
Yes.
Yes, it would.
Wait a minute, I got lost. HTLA. Oh, HTLA. Hell is that?
No, I don't want to know. No, well, welcome back to Coffee and Cigarettes for your Wednesday grinder. This Wednesday, 22nd April 2015. It is 3:22 p.m. right now in the big city. 64 degrees, partly cloudy, but the sun is peeking out and holding nice and warm. 64. I can live with that. I can deal.
Yes.
That's, I can, yeah.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
Oh, yeah. You think, Louis, do you really think that, being a radio host is just all that money?
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
That's right. They got me here with Jenny. Yeah. Yes, and I do make her work topless.
Yes.
There we go. Well, welcome back to the big show. And just before the break, I was telling you about Obama and his pen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't talking to you, Arnold. Not in the least. No. No, but before we get into that, I do have to say that this show is brought to you by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City, now with those 8 fine locations in the city. Serve all your coffee and baked goods needs. Check them out. You won't be sorry you did.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I know. You like that stuff too, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Check them out. And, remember, Tim Hortons, always fresh, because it is.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
Oh. No, Louis, we can't. I'm sorry.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut. Always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Yes.
It's always England with you.
Yes.
I don't know what the hell that is. But anyway, welcome back. Just the same. Yes, let's we have, listeners here and stuff, And they're waiting to hear what Obama's doing with his pen is. I'll tell you what he's doing with his pen today in Washington. President Obama visits the Florida Everglades. Well, how does he do that from Washington? Yeah, okay, well, there you go. He's amazing, and he can be in 2 places at once.
Yeah.
Yes, he is visiting the Everglades today to give a speech on climate change. The White House is announcing a package of 8 different executive actions implemented by 7 government agencies to, quote, protect the people and places that climate change puts at risk. Well, I guess he's going to have to give all that money back to the oil barons, because... yeah, 3 words, Gulf of Mexico.
Power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah, well, you've got a knack, Louis, for stating the obvious. You know?
They get f***ing crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Well, love him or not, that is what he is doing today.
Yes.
Yeah, the announcement contains no executive orders, sweeping directives, legislative proposals, or bill signings. Well, what the hell are we here talking about then? Well, instead, the actions are smaller bore staples of Obama's pen and phone strategy that shows no sign of letting up. A report on the value of parks and the environment, a proclamation declaring National Parks Week, and conversation efforts. Yeah. Yes, we're really trying hard to converse in Florida.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, conservation efforts in Florida, Hawaii, Puget Sound, and the Great Lakes. This is an example of how the administration can continue to advance what we consider to be and what the world considers to be a top priority, which is dealing with the impacts of climate change in a way that makes communities more resilient, said White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest. But White House officials say such actions are also part of a broader political strategy to stay on offense and have a new Republican Congress respond to the president's agenda, and not the other way around. Yeah. That's why he's friends with Castro now. He's learning how to be a dictator.
Yes.
Yeah. That's nothing like them penis potatoes.
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
Well, I know.
You got to dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
Yeah, you want me to dispense love to the president whose penis is already out. Yeah. Well, since the election, the president has had a pretty explicit strategy, says Brian Deese, a senior Obama advisor, and it is consisted of trying to stay on offense, trying to push where he can to move the agenda through executive action. You're going to keep seeing the president in that posture moving forward, he says. The executive action, or a phrase Obama never uttered publicly in the first 2.5 years of his presidency, has now become part of his daily lexicon. Yes, the actions can take many forms, from formal executive orders and presidential memoranda to much more routine and bureaucratic changes. That makes any definitive count of lower-level executive actions difficult. But by one measure, such policy rollouts are actually increasing in pace. The White House often announces executive actions with a fact sheet from the press office, and those spiked last year during what Obama called, "This is my year of action." Yes. Yeah, it's pretty good for a guy who's been sitting there for 7 years. Yeah. Yes, I remember back in 2007, it's time for a change. I don't know what kind of change you're talking about, but working 1 year out of 7 ain't too great.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yes, the year of action. The White House issued 228 fact sheets in 2014, more than the first 3 years of his presidency combined. This year, the White House has already issued 3 more fact sheets than last year at the same time. The Obama strategy on executive actions closely parallels. Thank you. Yes, it's closely paralyzing my presidency.
Yes.
Well, it's closely paralyzing. I said it again. What the hell? Okay, folks, the line is the Obama strategy on executive actions closely parallels that of the Clinton White House. Thank you.
Yes.
Wow. In Bill Clinton's last 2 years in office, Chief of Staff John Podesta launched what would become known as Project Podesta. In an effort to flex presidential authority, he canvassed executive agencies for actions Clinton could take without going to Congress. Hey, is there anything prayers can do without the okay of Congress?
Yes.
Well, Podesta came back to the Obama White House last year when he departed for Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. His responsibility for climate policy fell to Deese. One of the ways that the White House plays a role is to think forward and challenge the agencies to be proactive in saying, what more can we do, and what more can we do that's consistent with certain themes, Deese said. This year, the major theme is the middle class economics. Again, I say, we're all broke or we're all rich. There ain't no middle anymore.
Yes.
When you say that, you get away with it. If I would say that, it would be all over the place.
If you say that, I'll beat the pants out of you. Remember, Arnie, the new agreement is you're not supposed to talk.
Yes.
Yes. Well, the executive action wasn't part of Obama's strategy when he first came into office. I sort of see it as flowing from the failure of grand bargain negotiations in 2011, says Andrew Rudalevich, a presidential scholar at Bowdoin College in Brunswick, Maine. That's when Obama and House Speaker John Boehner tried to reach a permanent budget agreement, but instead came up with a super boner. Well, he gets shellacked in the midterms and then sets up a position where he could actually cooperate, a triangulation strategy channeling Bill Clinton, Rudalevich said. Yes. Rudalevich, yes. Instead of channeling Bill Clinton, he started channeling Harry Truman, taking on do-nothing Congress. In the fall of 2011, Obama went on We Can't Wait road tour. Yes. You know what? This story goes on for looks like another 9 paragraphs, and I don't care. We're done. We're just done.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. You see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Well, not as much as I see it out of that office. Now, and of course, you all remember the defense lawyer for the Boston bomber. Yeah? Yes, the opening statement. He did it. Yes. Shut up, Arnold.
Yes.
Well, today, Boston lawyers for Dokazar Sarniev today downplayed video of the marathon bomber raising his middle finger at a security camera hours before his arraignment back in 2013. It was the first time since the penalty phase of Sarniev's trial began Monday that defense pushed back against the government's case. Jurors first saw a photo of Sarniev showing his middle finger to the camera that U.S. Marshals were using to monitor him. Then they saw a video of the incident during which Sarniev paces in his cell, looks to the lens, and fixes his hair in the reflection. He then briefly makes what the defense called a V sign, followed by the middle finger, and walks away. Well, Deputy Marshal Gary Oliveria watched the monitors as it happened on July 10th, 2013. He testified today as the images were introduced as evidence. Yes. A person who looks up into the camera would see reflection of themselves, says Sarniev's attorney Miriam Conrad on cross-examination. One day prior, the government had said his gesture reflects his callous character and his wish to be America's worst nightmare. But Oliveira suggested Sarniev might not have been just looking at himself. A lot of times people do that to get our attention, Oliveira said. Are you aware of why he made a V sign, Conrad asked. No, Oliveira answered. Are you aware of why he raised the middle finger? No. Conrad repeatedly described Sarniev's behavior in the video, and the government repeatedly objected. Thank you. Stop characterizing it, says Judge O'Toole. Finally, the jury can see it and make their own decisions. Earlier Wednesday, prosecutors appealed to jurors' emotions as they pressed for a death penalty. First on the witness stand was Andrew Collier, brother of deceased MIT security officer Sean Collier, who was killed by Tsarnaev and his brother Tamerlan during the manhunt following the Boston Marathon bombing of April 15th, 2013. Collier recalled how they teamed up as teens to go race karts. And Andrew would work on them. Sean would race them. He was always winning races, made a lot of people mad, Collier said, drawing chuckles in the courtroom. He described Collier as a moral compass. He was someone who saw the world clearly in terms of right and wrong. You know, isn't it funny how all the dead folks are just heroes? Yeah. Oh, he was always such a good boy.
Yes.
Well, he'd always do the right thing, down to you can't kill a bug, you can't kill things, Collier said. Jurors saw photos of the brothers together as little boys in their pajamas. He recalled how hard it was just trying to get his brother, saying that his brother had been killed. You know, here's a question. Isn't it kind of, I don't know, not to do anything with the case when they're showing pictures? Oh, well, this was little Scott when he was a little boy and innocent, and he's dead now because of that bastard. You know, I mean, what do you think? Of course they're going to come back. Death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill him. Ring him up. Death. Nothing but death.
Power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Well, you know, it does, but I'm not sure what the hell it has to do with what we're talking about. I miss everything about him, Collier said. Well, you know, I'm not going to read this story anymore either. No. You know, it goes on for about, you know, another 8 or 10 paragraphs, yes. And it's just, oh, he's such a bad man, and oh, he's killed so many good people, and he's bad, and they're good, and he's bad, and I'm gonna make a prediction. It's just gonna be the death penalty.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt.
Yeah, we know.
It is. We see it every day.
Yep.
We see it in every job.
Louis,
It's the same thing.
I know. Well, and now that I've cleared that story away, we've got a little bit of extra time.
Yes.
So, Gilbert, I forgot to have you sing at the start of the show. Fill your boots, my friend.
Na 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 na, ba ma 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 ma. Oh yeah. Who wants to grow up? Who wants responsibility? Oh no, not me. Who wants to show up and work until you're 93? Now everybody says you're running wild. The teacher's calling you a problem. Ooh.
Oh, thanks. You know, that kind of stuff right there hits the spot.
Yes.
Yeah, it breaks up the stories. It helps add a nice pace to the show and a certain lunacy. And, of course, the best part, it's more time that Arnold can't talk. Yes.
Because you know when he does, he sounds stupid. I'm not going to complain about it, right?
You know, it's funny, Arnold. I really don't know how you still have your balls. You know, I never mind that. I mean, he's still married. Yeah,
I'm married.
Yeah,
I'm not divorced yet.
No, I just ask myself, you know, is Maria Shriver like brain damaged or something? I mean, there's stand by your man, but Jesus, when you're raising the bastard child,
yes.
You know.
I'm not going to complain about it, right?
No. Yeah, I guess. Oh, man. Just, I don't know, get your eyes checked or something. Well, moving on. What do we got to move on to? You know, we've got lots of stuff to move on to because I just don't piss around here. I bring the real goods.
Yes.
That's right. Well, oh, yes, Topless Jenny is saying it's time for a break. Well, she doesn't talk to me through the booth. She just kind of rubs one of the titties against the window. Yeah. Make it hard. There you go. Oh, well, but never fear, folks, because, of course, when we come back from commercial, we've got the great story there about Jeb Bush calling out Hillary Clinton on trade. We'll be back in 2.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
Man, I've been to a lot of places over these past 50 years. Seen the whole true north strong and free. 'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Cooksville, Stouffville, Bainesville, Bowmanville, Bonnieville, Unionville, Oakville, Dunville, Brockville, Boucherville, Melville, Drummondville, Kentville, Grenville, Morinville, Maryville, Parksville, Stephenville, Sackville, Spring Hill, Westville, Walkerville, hanging on a windowsill. Hey! He said, wow, that's a lot of places. I said, hang on, there's more. I've been to Monton, Picton, Shannon, Vernon, Stellarton, Hamilton, Nipigon, Nobleton, Yorkton, Brighton, Bolton, Beaverton, Brandon, Edmonton, Walkerton, Wyerton, Granby, Miramichi, Charlottetown, Burnaby, Yellowknife, Whitehorse, Corner Brook, none of it. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I crossed the prairies bare, man. I breathed the mountain air. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere, man. Check it out. Ottawa, Wawa, Mattawa, Chippewa, Moose Jaw, Oshawa.
It could be 7 in the morning.
Or 10 at night.
In Chilliwack, BC.
Or St. Peters, Nova Scotia.
It could be Michelle.
Or Mark.
Or Jen.
But whenever, wherever you order that cup of Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee,
You know that it's always fresh.
From Newfoundland and Labrador to Vancouver Island, Tim Hortons, a coffee all our own.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the Egyptian cotton towels. Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York. Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular insights, superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor. We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Look, we always had fun. I think that no matter what you do in life, if you do bodybuilding or if you do hosting a show like you do here, you got to have a good time. Forget about it. You got to be passionate about the job that you have and go all out.
Well, I'm having a good time, loser.
You know, just because you like that, you know, you gotta...
You know, I just can't understand why so many people go to someone who sounds like this for advice. I don't, you know, or maybe that's the wrong word.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not advice. He's maybe they just let him ramble on and they just ignore him. Maybe.
The music is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got to hear it.
No, nothing but the best, Louie. Yeah. That's what we roll here. Welcome back to the big show this afternoon. Your coffee and cigarettes on HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, where it is 64 degrees right now, partly cloudy, but mostly sunny at 3:45 this afternoon. This afternoon, of course, being your Wednesday grinder, Wednesday the 22nd of April, 2015. Whew. Jeez, it was like talking to Arnold there. He didn't take a breath. Yeah. Well, we are back, and of course, we're brought to you by Tim Hortons, New York City, now with 8 fine locations in the city to serve all your coffee and baked goods needs. Check them out. Tim Hortons, always fresh, and I'm not even kidding. Yeah.
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Who, coffee drinkers? What? Oh, Louie, what am I ever going to do with you?
All right, go a half an hour. Do I get 50,000?
What? What do you need all that money for?
I need to try and raise $25,000 to enter in the Academy Awards, and I think it's a fantastic risk because we have a tremendous chance. There's about 200 members that vote on it, and you have to give them a DVD now.
Well, you're going to have to look elsewhere. You're not going to get your money here.
About fucking time. Move on.
All right, well, moving on. Before the break, I told you we were going to go into the Jeb Bush pulling out his balls. Yeah, it's quite the day for politics in America. We got, President Obama with his penis out. We got Jeb Bush with the old balls swinging. Well, of course, it is Hillary, so, I mean, it's not one of those, big fights.
Yes.
Well, first Martin O'Malley and Bernie Sanders, and now, of course, Jeb Bush is training his sights on Hillary Clinton when it comes to trade. I don't know why they bother when she only gets like 5 people at a coffee shop. What is? It's almost like, who the hell cares? Yes. Yeah, that's that wife of the president. Yeah, that's. Well, in a lengthy Medium post, the former Florida governor accused Clinton of flip-flopping on Trans-Pacific partnerships. Wow, way to stick it to her there, Jeb. Yeah. Well, the massive pact President Obama is negotiating with 11 Asia-Pacific countries. I haven't changed my view, even though Hillary Clinton has. It's time to move forward, and even recent Democratic presidents have recognized, and Secretary Clinton shouldn't stand in the way for political gain, Bush wrote. As security of state, yes. Oh, man, I don't know what is wrong with my mouth today. Yes. I know what it is. It's Jenny's titties. Yes, well, the Secretary of State Clinton said the Trans-Pacific Partnership would set the, quote, gold standard in trade agreements in her memoir, Hard Choices. Yes. Well, I guess Bill isn't doing it for her anymore.
Yes.
Well, Clinton described the Trans-Pacific Partnership as a strategic initiative that would strengthen the position of the United States in Asia. The fight over fast-track authority, which would help if the Obama administration actually reached trade deals in the Trans-Pacific Partnership, has exposed tensions in the Democratic Party between those who support big business and those who support labor unions. There's Democrats that support big business? Really? I did not know that.
Didn't you read the goddamn script? I sent it to you.
No, no. What the hell am I supposed to know? I don't know. Yeah, O'Malley, the former Maryland governor, has been unrelenting in recent days with missives about bad trade deals that are clearly meant as a shot at Clinton. For her part, Clinton hedged in her first public comments on the issue. She didn't say yesterday whether she was for or against the Trans-Pacific Partnership, but did say, quote, any trade deal that has to produce jobs and raise wages and increase prosperity and protect our security, I'm for, end quote. Well, if it produces jobs in Taiwan, how does that Does that help us at all?
Yes.
Because that's what they do.
They get f***ing crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Well, only attracting 5 people to a coffee shop. Nobody loves Hillary. And yes, I did speak at the beginning of the show about world news. We'd bring the world news. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and now it is time for the world news. And of course, that story is the resumption of Yemen airstrikes, a sign of battle entering a new phase. The resumption of Saudi-led airstrikes in Yemen, a day after announcing an end to the nearly month-long bombing campaign, is a sign that fighting there is entering a new, uncertain phase. Quote, all sides are taking stock of where they are in this conflict, says Matthew McInnes, former military intelligence analyst at the U.S. Central Command, now at the American Enterprise Institute. The likelihood of continued fighting is high.
Oh, you don't say.
And, of course, the Saudis will have to judge whether they will commit ground troops. Wednesday's airstrikes took place in the southern port city of Aden and the central city of Taiz. The battles between rebels and supporters of exiled President Abido Rabu Mansur Hadi continued. The air campaign had been focused on arms depots and infrastructure that could be used by the rebels, or Houthis, who have threatened to overrun Aden and Saudi Arabia's allies in Yemen, McKenna said. With most of those types of targets eliminated, the conflict is entering a new phase that could allow parties on the ground to pursue a political settlement or continue fighting like they have for 17,000 years. Which are you going to pick, door number 1 or door number 2?
Yes.
Right. Well, the rebels called for the resumption of dialogue Wednesday. Quote, we welcome any United Nations efforts that are on the side of peaceful solutions, Houthi spokesman Mohammed Abu Salam said in a statement. White House spokesperson Eric Schultz told reporters today that efforts must now shift from military operations to rapid, unconditional response of all party negotiations and allow Yemen to resume an inclusive political transition process. There's going to be no military solution to this problem, the only one that is solved at the diplomatic table, he said. At least 944 people have been killed and 3,500 others wounded since the start of the airstrikes back on March 26th. This from the World Health Organization. The rising death toll is a sign that the air campaign in Yemen is counterproductive, but the Saudis have not said clearly what they intend on doing going forward, says Marina Ottaway, a Middle East analyst at the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars. Yes, why are they still fighting 20,000 years later? You know, your war's been going on too long when somebody sets up a university to study you. Now, she says the dynamics of the conflict are becoming more and more complicated. The conflict is going on for a while now, but it's not clear in what form. I think the airstrikes might be a hint. I just think this woman studies this for a living.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, on Tuesday, Saudi spokesman Brigadier General Ahmed Asiri said the U.S.-backed bombing by the Gulf Arab allies achieved its goals and was stopped at midnight, 5 p.m. Eastern, at exiled President Hadi's request. Asiri did not rule out future airstrikes. He said that Saudi ground and naval forces would continue to guard the kingdom's border with Yemen and seize all shipments to Iran-backed Houthis. He said the next phase of the campaign this is good, Operation Restoring Hope. Yes, those filthy American pigs.
You filthy American pigs. No longer will my men be forced to bow down to your pantyhose wearing imperialism. Each week, we will raise pillars of holy fire in each of your cities until our demands are met.
You know, I'm the most talented guy in this room.
Yeah, but you're sitting in your apartment. Well, the Houthis, allied with forces loyal to former Yemeni president ousted Hadi, the country's current Saudi-backed president, earlier this year after taking over the capital of Sana'a last September. U.S. warships have sailed to the blockade to blockade Yemen shores against Iranian efforts to resupply the Houthis. But the rebels can survive for a long time, McKinnis said. Iran, whose foreign minister Javad Zarif on Sunday urged dialogue to resolve the conflict, would like to prevent the conflict from escalating, but has spent years, in fact decades, preparing the Houthis to fight a Saudi invasion with guerrilla warfare, McKinnis said. Yeah. Yes, I want peace, but I have been training my men for decades, yes. Because you have to train for peace.
Yes.
You do. You can't just sit there and just be. No. No. There's always someone out to screw with you.
Yes.
You know? Well, here at home, our military is kind of overdoing not overdoing. They're doing an overhaul. Yeah. Yeah, get the hell out of here. Washington, House lawmakers will back a dramatic overhaul to the military retirement system as part of the fiscal 2016 Defense Authorization Bill, including a 401k-style investment plan, and to end the 20-year all-or-nothing retirement model. The plan calls for new retirement systems to be in place by October 2017. They come despite concerns that some veterans groups that the commission recommendations won't entice enough troops to stay or much more past the 20-year mark. House Armed Services Committee leaders will also mandate better financial literacy training for troops, improved access to child care on military bases, and consolidate the 30 reserve blah, blah, frickin' blah, 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 blah. All right, next window. Let's go on to something fun. Yeah. I won't bog you down with that stupid political crap.
Yes.
No. Well, how about this from the Detroit Free Press? Drug charges dropped against a black man beaten by police. There you go. That's right. In Detroit, a judge today threw out a cocaine possession charge against a Michigan man whose beating by Inkster, Michigan police officer in a traffic stop last winter was caught on a patrol camera video. There you go. Now I can get some sleep, says Floyd Dent outside the courtroom today. Dent added that he's grateful for the widespread support he's received and happy to know the officer who hit him has been arrested and faces criminal charges. Put the cops in the prison where they belong. Well, Dent, 57 years old and should goddamn know better. And his attorney have said police lied about the cocaine police said was found in his 2001 lowered drug-dealing Cadillac. Yes, Mr. Dent of Detroit initially faced a charge of obstructing a police officer, but was thrown out by a judge after the video in his case was reviewed. Police officer William Melendez, shown on dash cam video hitting Dent in the head about 14 times, was fired from the Inkster and Highland Park Police Departments and has been charged with 2 felonies in the case. Now he works for the DEA. There you go. Well, Melendez, 46, of Novi, Michigan, faces counts of misconduct in office for mistreatment of a prisoner, a 5-year felony, and assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder, a 10-year felony. He's due back in court at 9 a.m. on May 6th. Well, asked about what he'd like to say to Melendez, Dent replied, "I'd like to ask him why he beat me like that." I mean, he had no reason to do it, so now that he's behind bars and everything, he should feel the pain I felt. Well, Dent says he's aged 20 years with all that worrying. Yeah. All right, so Dent, now 77.
Yes.
Well, his son Brandon Dent, 32, who is actually 32. He said that one of his biggest frustrations was dealing with the pressure of waiting 3 months for the case to be dropped. He's continuing pursuit of his goal to become a state trooper. Yeah. So I can lay the heavy down on the white man. Yeah. Yes, apparently something he wanted to do since before his father's arrest. Now, not so much.
Yes.
But he's showing great digs. He's going to continue anyway. Yep. Well, he says today's dismissal of the case made him even more inspired to join law enforcement. Gave me a lot more confidence in the system that we now live in. That's in place right now, Brandon Dent said. Floyd Dent, a longtime Ford worker, didn't appear to have any criminal history in Michigan beyond a number of traffic infractions. He was bloodied after the arrest and hospitalized for 2 days for injuries he received during the traffic stop. His attorney, Greg Roll, has asked Wayne County Circuit Court Judge Dave Groner to order the case dismissed after Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Thomas Dawson said that there doesn't appear to be sufficient evidence to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. We'll just ignore this bag of cocaine over here. So there you go. Now all you need to do to get off charges is be black and have some video. Yeah. Well, and moving on today, another big story. I think this one should have been at the top of the hour today, but of course, you know, our news editor, Topless Jenny, yeah, she likes to stick all the good stuff way down low.
Yes.
Well, Reno's biggest little city arch may fail hipster test. Yes, that's the bottom story today. Oh, yes. The mayor of Reno actually thinks it's time for a conversation about whether the Reno Arch is hip enough for the city trying to reinvent its brand. And, of course, the mayor's first name is Hillary. Yeah. Well, Mayor Hillary Sheeves said in a meeting yesterday that at least one city staff member has been working with a, quote, group of people interested in updating the arch. Sheeves said that she wants that discussion to be done in public and not just among stakeholders. The question came up to a city council meeting to discuss how to spend a $10 million surplus. Wow, you know, in this day and age, if you've got a $10 million surplus in your city, I'm thinking, I don't know, social programs.
Yes.
I'm thinking some education. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and here's a funny one, Gilbert. How about a little something for the vets?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking. You know, it's time. You know, let's lead the way, Reno. Let's show the federal government how to take care of our troops. Yeah. Assholes. Well, anyway, one proposal is to use $200,000 to replace the light bulbs in the arch with a new lighting system that can change colors with a flip of a switch. Yeah. But the great, insightful mayor says she wants to put off that decision, worried it would be wasted money. Duh! She says there has been some talk of completely replacing the arch, Sheev said. I'm starting to get calls into my office from people that they believe the arch is somewhat outdated. Reno has been trying to transform itself from the mid-sized city best known for the casinos and shady dealings of prostitutes. And civic leaders point with pride to the Tesla there's a Tesla Gigafactory in Sparks, Nevada. There you go. Yes, we'll hope we'll seed other high-tech, well-paying jobs. Yeah, that'll do it. Hey, what do you do? Well, I run the Reno Gigafactory arch. Yeah, that's what I do. Oh, well, there you go. And that is not the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. No way. I wouldn't let you go off that easy. Yes. Well, Elizabeth Warren... Why am I even reading this? You know, it's 4:04. I'm over time. Yes. I could just kill it right now, but no. No, because this is important stuff. Elizabeth Warren fires back at Obama on trade. Yes, Senator Elizabeth Warren shocked back at Obama on trade, blowing wide open an intra-party Democratic spat between its labor and business camps a day after Obama called Warren wrong on trade. Well, the Massachusetts senator and favorite of liberals responded with a blog post, defending her stance on the Trans-Pacific Partnership known as TPP, and the administration is trying to reach within 11 Asian Pacific nations. Warren is careful not to direct her comments at Obama, but is unmistakable who she is speaking to following comments he made Tuesday in an interview with MSNBC. One of Warren's arguments, the devil is in the details and they're not available for public consumption. The administration says I'm wrong, but there's nothing to worry about. They say the deal is nearly done, and they're making a lot of promises about how the deal will affect workers, the environment, and human rights. Promises, but people like you can't see the actual deal. Obama and other supporters of the massive trade pact say it's good for the U.S. economy. Everything I do, quote, has been focused on how do we make sure the middle class is getting that fair deal, Obama said. So I guess Senator Warren is much like me in recognizing there ain't no middle-class dumbasses.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Warren and other opponents of the trade deal, such as labor unions, say the TPP and the fast-track authority that goes with it would only help to the rich and hurt American workers under fast-track authority, which still must pass the U.S. House and Senate. Congress could only approve or reject any trade deal, but not make any changes. In a message urging her supporters to sign a petition against the trade deal, Warren implored, quote, when giant corporations get to see the details and the American people don't, we all lose. Let's level the playing field. No vote on fast-tracking made until the public can read the TPP deal. You know, I've said for years that this country needs more TP, but I just don't know about the TPP.
Yes.
There you go. So that is all the time we have for today. Actually, I'm over, but who the hell cares? That's right. Luis, thank you very much, my man, my bro.
Oh, my God, he's becoming black. I like it. Do a little rap.
I'll be sure to see you on the show tomorrow.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Yes, thank you. Great to see you.
Same thing.
It is, pretty much, yeah. And, of course, the one, the only Gilbert Gottfried. Thanks for being here again and putting up with all this nightmare.
Thank you for listening and support the show for the love of God.
Take that down a little bit.
Yeah.
And, of course, finally, I have to thank the idiot from California. Thanks a lot, Arnold. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah? No stupid, I'll be back. No?
Never. No.
Okay, fine. Well, see you later.
Yeah.
Yes. And finally, to all you, the HTLA listeners, thanks for bearing with us through our upgrades, and we are back and better than ever. We will, of course, have another coffee and cigarettes tomorrow, the Thursday Double-Double, 3 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to miss that one. Yeah. That's it, folks. And remember, have a great day, and life is still a poor substitute for video games.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.